Good evening and a happy new year to everybody for this last league game here at Headingley for this truncated centenary season. Tonight's opponents, of course, Oldham. But before the game, we've had a chat with both Hugh McGann and Gary Schofield about last Saturday's defeat against Wigan and the prospects for tonight's game with Oldham. The teams take the field for this, as I've said, this last league game of the 1995-96 season here at Headingley, with the Leeds side, one or two changes from the side which did lose at Wigan last Saturday. At fullback, Alan Tate, and the three-quarter line of Jim Fallon, Carl Hall, Craig Innes and Marvin Golden. The halfbacks, Gary Schofield and Graham Holroyd. The front row, Harvey Howard, Mick Shaw and Nick Fozzard, with George Mann and Jamie Field. The second row, Adrian Morley moving to loose forward. And the four substitutes, Paddy Hanley, Barry McDermott, James Lowes and Matt Schultz. The Oldham side, just coming out now at Headingley, Paul Aitchison at fullback. And three-quarter line, Adrian Bell, Paul Topping and Alfie Lewila at Wally Gibson. They're the three-quarter line. Francis Maloney and Martin Crompton, the halfbacks. Craig Richards, Gary Burns and Jason Timu are the front row, with Gary Lord and Ian Gildart in the second row, with David Bradbury at loose forward. And the Oldham substitutes, Darren Abram, Chris McKinney, Paul Crook and Paul Norman. Referee tonight, Mr. Carl Kirkpatrick from Warrington. And obviously going to get his usual hot reception, as like all referees do, from the South Stand supporters here at Headingley. An ideal night for rugby league football. No wind. Perhaps the pitch might be a little slippy in parts, but we've had rain here in Leeds, certainly yesterday, but it's been dry all day today. And it won't be too bad. The two captains, Gary Schofield and Martin Crompton, exchange pleasantries. I don't suppose they'll exchange many more before the final hooter. And the mascots, captains and the three match officials have their photograph taken together. So we'll just see who's going to kick off first. Looks like Oldham will kick off. Through Francis Maloney. Francis Maloney was here for a short spell. He's played for Featherstone, Warrington, and now at Oldham. So Mr. Kirkpatrick gets the game underway, and Martin Crompton puts the first kick in, goes into touch. So scrum down. And Leeds head and ball. Graham Holroyd operating the scrums this evening. Successfully the first time. Jim Fallon wrapped up there. Carl Hall has made an impressive start with Leeds. And that shows, I said, how it could be slippy in parts, as Adrian Morley slipped on that occasion. Nick Fozzard. I think Hall did well to retain possession of that ball. It took a long time before the Oldham defenders could push him down. Nick Shaw. Schofield puts a long kick in. Is it going to go dead or into touch? It bounces back in field and then runs over the dead ball line. So Oldham have their first touch of the ball. That's Adrian Bell, making it to 10 metres away from his 25. Timu not going to make much farther. Won a good half burst, but Mick Shaw clings onto his legs, otherwise it could have spelt danger there for Leeds. Moving it out onto the right hand side. Bell gone inside to take the pass from Paul Topping, who was the dummy half on that occasion. Low kick put through by Martin Crompton, picked up by Jim Fallon. Paul Topping must be the only player in the top division of rugby league still playing who's played with Mansfield Marksmen. For people who perhaps can remember Mansfield Marksmen. George Mann. Not a good pass there for Craig Innes, but Marvin Golden weaving his way through and nearly getting tackling coming in there from Gary Burns. Fozzard, now he's got support, he's got Carl Hall, he's looking for support on the outside. It's Morley, but Morley can't make it to the and there's a penalty, is that, for holding down. Obviously Oldham rather try and give away 2 points rather, but they've taken a quick tap of Leeds to try and get Oldham. There's men over here, and it goes Fozzard, and Fozzard scores after only 3 minutes. Well, the ploy of holding a Leeds player down in the thought of perhaps only conceding 2 points rather than 6 seems to have come a little awry for Oldham, because Leeds took a quick tap, fanned the ball out to the left and found they'd got at least a 3-man overlap, but Fozzard didn't use it at all. So Leeds will kick off and put Oldham back under pressure. Ball high in the air. Oldham begin what they hope is an end of the field run for a score at the other end. Gary Burns from some dummy half. Timu, who's had some impressive games just recently. Of course, one mustn't forget, these are the only 2 teams that have beaten Wigan this season. And Leeds have got a penalty. So a chance for Leeds now to now make it 6-0. And Leeds public obviously thinking that another quick tap, but of course Oldham are back this time in the defensive positions. Yes, Leeds and Oldham, the only two teams that have beaten Wigan this season so far. So Holroyd, a chance to make amends for that missed conversion to Nick Fozzard's try, and does so successfully to stretch the lead to 6-0. So Leeds kick off again. One hasn't quite got used to this the new rules yet. Another high kick by Holroyd. Taken safely by the on defence, but this time they don't make it up to the 20-metre line, and again a slip there. Leeds quickly into the tackle. As Oldham tried to run it out onto that far side through Gary Lord. Burns, I think, wanting his player to play the ball very quickly there. Compton switching it out now. Craig Richards, formerly with Bradford Northern, or as they're known now, Bradford Bulls. That ball, Craig Guinness drives on it, and that will be a knock-on for the first offence, which was against Oldham. In fact, it was the last tackle, so it'll be a changeover. Fozzard, try scorer. So Oldham will be keeping a close eye on Fozzard and making sure he doesn't run any great distances. Harvey Howard trying to bullock his way through. Schofield, what can magic on Schofield? George Mann. Now here comes Morley again, but he can't, good tackle coming in from Topping, prevented any chance of him getting the ball away. All right, Tate. Well, they stopped Holroyd, got into position, stop him passing the ball out to the right, which they thought he might do. But Tate come on his left-hand side and was able to slip away one-handed. And Tate, on his return to the side, scores his 7th try of the season. Oldham, of course, coached by Andy Goodway, who played here as well. Holroyd puts that one up and over, and he strikes his 2nd goal to make it Leeds 12, Oldham 0. Gets quite a height on that and lets his players get up well into the 20-metre area to snuff any Oldham out now. That try, of course, came off a knock-on by Oldham, and they'll be wanting to retain the possession for 6. Fullback Paul Aitchison, Welsh international rugby league player. Bell out of one tackle, going into midfield. Now they switch it across. Martin Crompton trying to go through a gap, but it's quickly short. Mick Shaw in at the tackle. Gary Burns goes away from his support. and then he's knocked down. Compton puts a kick in. Jim Fallon steps aside with the agility of a ballroom dancer and lets the ball roll into touch. So Leeds head and ball just on their own 20-metre line. Jim Fallon, if certain that'll raise the Craig Innes knocked down by Timu, assisted by Gary Lord. Referee urging it, shouting hell, but it's still pushed back. Harvey Howard pushed back. Tackling in numbers now seems to be the 4 players in on that tackle. If there could have been a quick play the ball there, there must have been a gap. Make sure trying to exploit it. Crowd urging that something happened in the tackle there. Wanted the touch judge on. But the touch judge remained off the field, and Gary Schofield puts a long kick in. And it goes into touch. Quite near the left-hand corner flag. So it'll be a 10-metre scrum. 20 metres in from the touchline now, of course. I noticed that George Mann went to the 10-metre mark to form a scrum there, but all the rest of his players had moved out to the correct place now. Oldham now, chance to build from their own. No way through for Adrian Bell. Quiet in the crowd. You hear the referee shouting the number of tackles. That was 2. And Ian Gildart is tackled, and that should be 3. No way through for Timu. Richards gets it away, and he's given a knock on there. Leeds again with head and ball, and should be favourites to win this scrum. And the referee says feeding. Well, so Topping puts the ball high onto the main stand roof, and Oldham getting a footing in the Leeds, near the Leeds 20-metre area. One had to be waited for. Now trying to work a move on that far side. That looked a forward pass. Crowd underneath me agreed. And he said Leeds were offside. So a kick penalty for Oldham. Are they going to get points on the board? I know he's given a scrum. He said it was a forward pass. Well, I thought he was waving Leeds off. So that attack comes to naught. Now, is this going to be a feed-in? In fact, they've won the scrum of Oldham. Well, now then, what can they do this time? They've certainly got chance. That was Wally Gibson trying to zigzag his way through. Usually stand-off half, but been playing on the wing. And out of 2 tackles goes Francis Maloney, and a high tackle. So another penalty for Oldham to retain more points. Are they going to take a tap? Craig Richards is given the try. I think Leeds were thinking they'd turned him over, so a tap for Leeds brought a try, and now a quick tap for Oldham. They've responded in kind. Now Maloney, his first attempt goal tonight. And successful, makes it 12 points to 6. So Oldham now will kick off and chance to put Leeds under pressure in their own 20-metre area if they put a good kick in. We've had 17 minutes play. Not the high kick one expected. But Leeds through. Hadrian Moore will make it to the beyond the 20-metre line now. Jim Fowler moving in field, trying to cut through between defenders. And a penalty to Leeds. Gary Schofield quickly puts it into touch. And Leeds go on the attack. They're wanting to get another try now. Harvey Howard. Turn over from the injured Neil Harmon tonight. Long ball, Schofield. Got support. Well taken by Mann. Craig Innes. But 3 Oldham defenders come across and knock him down. So Leeds, if they can move it out quickly, but they're not going to. They're going to come back this side through Jamie Field to impress people in the Regal Trophy semi-final against Wigan. Carl Hall, that little stuttering steps. Fallon unfortunately has to wait for that, but O'Roy got it away superbly. Strides out to the one. Fallon goes 3 yards short. Schofield have got men over. Would you believe? Turn it back inside. Who should be there? But Nick Fossard, but he's given a forward pass. I don't think Schofield can believe that. Like in the last match here, when he scored what he thought was a good try off a good pass. But I think if he'd have turned it to his left-hand side, there was players on the other side as well. Waiting for George Mann to join the scrum. Now here comes Bell trying to get away, but he's not going to get away from Innes. Wally Gibson brought down. And number 14 on for Oldham, that's Darren Abram. And put down in no uncertain fashion either. And Schofield going to get a talking to. Jamie Field thought he was going to get another high tackle. And Paul Topping again puts that into touch. So Oldham again striking, trying to tie the scores up. A long pass. Miss a man out, there could have been obstruction there. The fullback signalling people onto his right hand side. Paul Aitchison signalling behind his back. Now they've got to move it to the left hand side now. It's the only way they can go from that near the touchline. And a quick tackle in there, but the player was not able to escape the attentions in the end. That looked forward. Well forward, in fact. Some people might have said he was in an offside position there. So Leeds breathe again. And the number 10 Jason Team are trying to hook the ball out from Leeds. Not so, I think he was the one who did it on the other occasion. Now Craig Innes. Craig Innes straights one tackle. Streets it to Golden. Golden breaks the tackle of Aitchison. Golden again. The two props. Make sure he's not going far. Richards and Timu. Harvey Howard trying to bustle his way through. And the referee this time says let's a bit of advantage to see what advantage Leeds could get of that. I think he was waiting to see what happened. The crowd were urging that they're offside well before. But I think the advantage didn't go on. Fozzard in again. Well, he's been over the line twice. Can he go over 3 times? One was a legitimate one, the other was a forward pass. Or so the referee said. Jamie Field. Tate well in front of the attack on that occasion. Make sure nobody goes with him. Now what? Schofield, can he mastermind a try out of nowhere? George Mann, Craig Innes, Marvin Golden. Marvin Golden steps inside to avoid being pushed over the touchline. Leeds have got standing about a bit, I think. Olroyd, I think he wanted Schofield to go round to his right hand side there. And what Leeds are going to conjure up on this? Sure. But it's collected by Aitchison, who dived on the ball, received a knock for his pains, or appeared to. Gary Lord makes a few more yards from the try line. But Wally Gibson not going to get far on that occasion. Now Bell, who looks a bit quick. If Leeds give him half a yard, they might regret it. I don't think they can, although he scored a try, I don't think they'll be frightened of giving Craig Richards half a yard. This is the last tackle coming up, so there'll be a kick, and a long kick over the top. Tate collects it beautifully. Crowd want him because it seemed as though his leg was held. Fozzard. Bit of interference at the play of the ball, but Shaw takes it through a gap, but a good tackle there prevents him getting any farther, but he's taking it into a danger area. Schofield, long ball, here comes Fallon in for the try. All fed out quickly to him by Carl Hall. Schofield to Hall, and then Jim Fallon. Move it out quickly to either flank. They seem to have the speed to get round the Oldham defence. Holroyd, a chance to make it 18-6. Looks so Craig Richards is leaving the field. Ball up on the air, and Holroyd's third goal of the evening makes the score. Leeds 18, Oldham 6. High in the air again. Gives chance Oldham this time to make the 20-metre line. Wally Gibson, a nimble-footed runner if they give them a chance. And this straight running there, no nonsense by the loose forward David Bradbury. And Oldham have got into the Leeds half of the field just. Timu, he's not going to get any farther. I think his reputation of the past few weeks has gone before him, and Leeds are prepared for him. High ball. Taken by Fallon. Probably got caught by a boot there. But no sign of the physio coming on. He's walking back gingerly, I will say that. Now, a long ball in their own Tate. Knocked down. Innes was moving in to the middle of the field to take a pass, but Tate was unable to get the ball to him. Cartagena is the referee. Fozzard lost that. I think he's thinking that it was assisted out of his arms by Gary Lord. He stands there, hands on his hips, but doesn't say anything. Possibly he's taking wise counsel. Mr. Kirkpatrick might not like that. Atchison runs straight into George Mann, and then Harvey Howard comes to the assistance. Bell, like a little India rubber man. Now they move it across the field. Crowd trying to encourage the referee to blow his whistle in for a forward pass, but not having anything of it. The chance, there's a break now, a chance for Oldham, but there's nobody up in support. Bit interesting if Oldham now they move it out to the right hand side. Aitchison puts a kick in. Tate dives on it. He loses it, and Oldham snatch up the loose ball. A try. Well, Tate did the right thing by diving on it, but unfortunately he couldn't hold it. So that was Topping who scored that. Topping, who used to be a top-rate goal kicker, but all that seems to be in the hands or the feet of Francis Maloney. So again, the 18-6 becomes 18-10 with Maloney's goal kick to come. And a beautifully struck kick makes it 18-12. We've had some 30 minutes. But Tate appeared to have done all the right things then by diving on the ball and not attempting to pick it up, but somehow it eluded his grasp then. And he'll be eager to make it up with a try. He's already got one try. He'll be eager to make that mistake up. Another one. Now Jim Fallon. But Oldham are there in tackling the line. Their defence is very good at the moment. Shaw. Holroyd. And that's Jamie Field. Harvey Howard. Moves it out. Mann, Shaw. They've got men up. Fozzard. Tackle before he can get the ball away. Now to Holroyd for a kick. That's a nicely weighted kick. Goes into touch. So there'll be a scrum 10 metres from the Oldham line. But Oldham have a chance to run the ball out. Adrian Morley has gone off. And I would say that James Lowe's on, noted for his high tackling count. And already he's making it. No, making his presence felt already on the field. And a knock on there by the hooker, the dummy half, Gary Burns, and his eagerness to get a quick pass away to try and catch the Leeds defence unawares, unable to pick the ball up cleanly. And again, this time all the players, the both sets of forwards had formed up 10 metres in from touch, but of course it's 20 metres. The referee... Craig Innes slips slightly, been interesting to have been under dry ground. What had happened? Oh, George Mann trying to go through, playing wide out on this left hand side. James Lowes, but Jamie Field had to wait for that ball to get to him, couldn't run onto it. Schofield, now there's a chance out on the right hand side. Carl Hall has gone through, but he noted that Jim Fallon was being shepherded by his opposite number on the wing. Holroyd, good tackle. No, Holroyd can't release the ball. Referee gives a knock on, so Oldham defence gets a little respite, providing they heal the scrum, of course. Aitchison not going far, former Wigan player, and neither is Wally Gibson. Straight running there, and that was Gary Lord. Okay, Burns gets the ball away. Lord, now a chance here. Oldham try to run it away. Fossard, but held on to the Oldham player there. He knew that if he let it go, there's a chance there. And Oldham are playing some attractive football. This is the that was the 5th tackle. So Oldham are going to run it. That look forward, they're going to run it, but they're not going to get over the try line, as Luila is held just short. So Leeds have now got a changeover inside their own, near their own line, and Fallon trying to make yardage. They want to hold it for 6 tackles with Leeds. George Mann, Craig Innes running up on the diagonal to try and get the ball. This time Leeds do get it out, and that looked a high tackle. The ball knocked back, and Shaw, and he couldn't get the ball away to Goulden, and that's back to 1 again. James Lowes, Fallon can't get away. And a good tackle by Wally Gibson. Well, it had to be, didn't it? But he kept himself in from the touchline. Now leads a quick tap. Schofield. And I think that was a bit of a wasted effort there on the first tackle. And I think Gary Schofield knows it now. The idea might have been good, but the execution of the kick wasn't. And Gary will be the first to admit that. It's remarkable how teams use wingers to run balls clear. They think their speed perhaps can take them a few more yardage than they can. A bit of against between George Mann there and Jason Timu, who didn't like George Mann's tackle. And Leeds at the moment are letting Oldham run to them instead of going to meet them. Although I suppose Leeds are playing cannily that they might give a penalty away for offside. Bell, not far. That was the 5th tackle, so the last one coming up. It's Crompton going to put a kick in. Chips it over the top. Golden gets on it. This time he does hold it. Schofield. Tate runs across the face of the defence. Still got there. If it had gone out, I think it had gone out now. Has he got to come this way? One thinking that if he'd have gone out to the right-hand side with Carl Hall and Jim Fallon out there, they might have outflanked the Oldham defence down the main stand side of the field. Jim Fallon, James Lowe's, and that looked like a late tackle, and he's pushed back by Craig Richards. So 18-12 and Oldham as we come up to towards half time, and a bad kick there does not find touch, and there can be no excuse for that. So Oldham will think perhaps the gods are smiling on them a little. But Leeds will get the ball back because it's a drop kick and not as it was a penalty. And I'm certain Hugh McGann and Dean Bell will be looking for something extra in the second half. And Richards in rather rashly there on James Lowe's. Fossard. And that looked high as well. And the referee now has got to take action. Make sure, telling Fossard not to get involved. So a penalty to Leeds. Are they going to take a kick at goal for a fist that was thrown? Martin Crompton called into that. So Holroyd, just for half time, is going to give that Leeds hopefully an 8-point half time cushion. The clock has just ticked over to 40 minutes on the electronic scoreboard. So perhaps after this, if this Holroyd kick is successful, the hooter will probably go. And he just put it through to make it 20 points to 12. And my suggestion that the hooter will go after the kick had been taken has proved correct, because it goes. The Leeds and Oldham players go off the field. A half, in some instances, played with a bit of feeling out there. At the half-time score, Leeds have that 8-point lead. Leeds 20, Oldham 12. So Leeds come on the field, ready for the second half. And we await the arrival of their opponents, Oldham. A reminder that the half-time score, Leeds 20, Oldham 12. And the small crowd of Oldham supporters away to the left in front of the electronic scoreboard give their team cheers as they come out. They're behind the post, so they'll be Oldham attacking the post where they are behind. Tradition in rugby league circles, at most grounds anyway, that supporters swap ends. So Leeds will kick off. Graham Holroyd put his boot to this. Left foot and high in the air, hanging, hoping that his players can get up to tackle and knock the Oldham players, which they do, just as he gets to the contact line. Wally Gibbs shrugging off players, shrugs off two players, runs across the field but has not made any ground forward despite all his efforts there. Gary Lord has played here, and Oldham, James Lowe's in as usual, and once a bit of tackling done, get the call out for James Lowe's, and he's on that one as well. together with Nick Fozzard. So Crompton puts the kick in. Tate back pedals to take that on the bounce. Jim Fallon is held by the Oldham second rower in Guildhart to await reinforcements. In the meantime, Jamie Field runs across with Mick Shaw taking it up to 10 yards short of halfway. Harvey Howard takes it into the Oldham half of the field before he's bundled down. Schofield kick, and that one's going to go dead. And it's not, and that was a good kick, but it had to be run out at one look. When it set off towards the line, that ball in the air was going to go dead, but it didn't. Bell ducks under the arm of Harvey Howard on that occasion. Straight running again. Jason Timu. Kick, a good tackle there by Mick Shaw, gets a round of applause. And Oldham put the kick in, and is that going to go into touch? It does. So a scrum 10 metres from the Leeds line, and Leeds will be hoping that they can win this hidden board. They should do, having the loose head and the ball in. Referee signalling the Oldham players back, but as it's taken up by Golden towards the 20-metre line. Nearly a high tackle there on Carl Hull. Lowe's brings number 12 Jamie Field into the action. Fozzard takes it halfway to halfway. Make sure. Harvey Howard. Waited for by the Oldham players, and the Oldham players seem to regret that. Little kick through, appeared to be obstruction there. One of the few times that James Lowe misses a tackle. Now, what can Oldham do? And down goes Luila. And Oldham back on the attack. Crompton puts a high kick in. He's knocked down, and the ball bounces kindly. And then it stops. Now Leeds, can they strike? They've got a position now. Move back inside. Golden. And the referee wants a word. And what's going to happen here? It looks like a blood bin. Gary Lord going off to the blood bin. And the substitution made for him. Harvey Howard. And he puts the ball into Tate, but it wasn't a good pass, and Tate was unable to take that one. And Gary Burns puts Oldham back on the attack. And the knock on there by Martin Crompton, although he doesn't agree with the referee's decision. I noticed Paul Norman on in the scrum for Oldham. Tate. Innes trying to get through, but this Oldham defence is really tackling well at the moment. No way through there for George Mann. Nick Fozzard done a lot of hard running as well as scoring the first try of the night. Schofield James Lowes can't collect it. So another error, handling error by Leeds, puts Oldham back in possession. Could have been a bit of lying on there, but the referee obviously adjudicates that Fozzard couldn't get up there. Wheeler puts it out to Wally Gibson. Wally Gibson a chance here. Good chance to use his speed. Now they moved it onto the far side. And with number 15. And that's Chris McKinley. And a look to high tackle there. There's the red card. And Harvey Howard trudges away. So, and the usual cry from the Leeds supporters. And a penalty going to be taken by Francis Maloney right in front of the post. And one doesn't suspect he will miss this one. So Leeds now under a little bit of pressure. Oldham now try and sweep the ball left and right to try and outflank Leeds to make the extra man count. But teams have been known to dig deep when they've had men sent off or having to play. So Maloney kicks, and 48 minutes gone, 8 minutes of the second half. And Maloney's third goal makes it 20-14. So Leeds have got a lot of work to do now, even though they do have this 6-point lead. And I have a feeling this will increase the crowd. And incense them a little more. Nobody running on for the Leeds passing at the moment. James Lowe appeared to have been held down a bit there. Jamie Field. Fozzard will take men on. The referee incensed of a flop there as he was already down and a second man came in. So they've taken it up to the halfway line virtually. And a kick by Schofield. No, Holroyd. Holroyd, he sees men not on this side of the field and puts into touch on the 20-metre line. So Oldham now have got to come from their own quarter. And Leeds will be hoping that they can coerce a mistake. Fozzard not hurrying himself into the scrum. 5-man scrum, of course, Leeds now. Wally Gibson tries to turn and get the ball away, but can't. Fozzard and Jamie Field cling onto their man at that occasion. Crowd a bit incensed on that occasion. As the boot went in there. And a knock on there, a long pass. Chris McKinney just not able to hold the ball. But the Leeds 5 against 6. So Leeds have got to summon resources now. Schofield, Jim Fallon trying to take Oldham on down the middle. Well, there's no way through on that occasion. George Mann. George Mann, he won't shirk anything. And Oldham caught offside. The referee waiting for advantage. Schofield will put the ball into touch, which he does. 2 balls on the pitch, but the referee lets play go on. Jamie Field. Leeds trying the long passes. James Lowes trying to get between Oldham players. Now make sure. A jinking run. Schofield. Missing man out. Craig Innes. Golden unable to get the ball. Tried to be pushed, but he just managed to get onto it. To Jim Fallon on that occasion. But one thought that Craig Innes' strength was going to take him to the line. And the crowd urging, and Jim Fallon urging the touch judge to go on. Now Leeds lose the ball. Chance for Oldham to break, but they can't. Leeds have got to tackle and tackle and tackle. They know that they'll be wanting to win this game. A win tonight, of course, ensures that they finish no lower than second in the league. Nice reverse pass, it's picked up, but it was a knock-on. Ball gone forward, said the referee. And Oldham throw the ball away and possibly wasting their own time. The number 12 dived on the ball, Gildart. So Schofield puts the ball into touch again. Trying to wheel the scrum there. Fossard. Oldham tried to push it into touch. And give away a penalty by snatching the ball. Topping came away with the ball there. So Leeds are going to put it into touch. They're going to waste as much time as possible. Lee's not running at the moment. James Lowes. Schofield goes up on his left-hand side, hoping that Lowes can release the ball to him, but his arm was pinned now. Shaw will take it on. And he's given a knock on there, and I think the unfortunate Shaw can feel a bit aggrieved about that. It looks like that Barry McDermott is going to make his come on the field. Atchison can't get out of that tight tackle up on his opposite number. Bell pulled down by shirt collar then. Topping trying to make a dummy there, and there's certainly no way through on that occasion. No backing up by Oldham at the moment. Now they've got a chance on this side. And he's into touch. And Luila was adjudged to have been knocked into touch before releasing the ball then. Touch judge below me was adamant on that occasion. Now Leeds strike and get the ball. Innes. Trying to shepherd Innes towards the touchline, but not on that occasion. Carl Hall trying to get through. McDermott. Barry McDermott, and Oldham trying to make their tackle hard, and Holroyd was passing the ball virtually as it got to him then. Good tackle by Jamie Field. Wally Gibson has got to run all the way back. In fact, he loses ground by doing that. And a high tackle there by Jim Fallon. So Oldham a chance now, and this is where the Leeds defence will be tested, and tested thoroughly. Out. Timu, Leeds tacklers wait for him to appear before knocking instead of going to meet him. Crompton, Maloney. Looks like another penalty there. Craig Innes possibly adjudged the offender. So this is where Leeds have got to be at their defence, got to be at their tightest. And there's a chance here, Aitchison, but Bell and Luila has made it 2018, and a goal kick to come, and this surely will give a chance for Oldham to tie the scores. Maloney strikes that. Is it good? It hits the post and goes in. One almost like say a cannon off Cush in the billiards. So makes it 20 all. So Maloney's fourth goal of the night ties the score, adding the conversion points to Luila's try, and Oldham will kick off again, and Oldham will have the bit between their teeth now. They know they're playing Leeds a man short, and all the resources of the amber and blue will be tested thoroughly. Jim Fallon. High ball there, which was well held in the long run by Jamie Field, but he wasn't able to make the yardage that he would like to have done. Now Schofield with the ball, what can he do? Unloads the field. And they're using the forwards to try and punch holes in the Oldham defence, but it's been pretty sound this half so far. Holroyd puts a high kick in. Aitchison waits for it and takes it beautifully. But the kick at least was high enough to let the Leeds players get underneath it as well. But he kept his eye on the ball. Bell. Straight into the arms of George Mann. And there's not many people get past George Mann. And Gary Lord returns from the sin bin, puts the helmet on, and a kick. Is that going into touch? Goes into touch, and it just touched, I think, the touch line before the Oldham player could get there. Wally Gibson. So long kick and Leeds under pressure. Harvey Howard having been sent off. And it was hard enough playing Oldham with a full side out. But with a man short, this Oldham side are revitalised in recent weeks, particularly after that win. And a bad mistake there by Craig Innes puts Oldham back in possession, and they must have a chance here. And Aitchison tries to get the ball away, which he does eventually. There's a chance there. And there's a chance, Oldham go in front. And Wally Gibson, the defence stretched. Makes it 24-20. And this looks as though it's going to go straight in the middle. Doesn't require any help from the woodwork this time. So 26-20. So is the final home league game of the season going to end in defeat for Leeds? Low kick this time. Schofield stops it with his foot. Well, that try all started from that mistake by Craig Innes, who appeared to have the ball well in control in his hands, but somehow contrived to lose it and drop it. And from the scrum, Oldham struck quickly. Shaw trying to break through. Dermot to the halfway line. Shaw, Lee's not facing, but they are now. Schofield, Carl Hall. The referee shouting for a high tackle there. That's Paddy Hanley on, but Hanley's not going to go far, so it'll be the changeover. Oldham now will take their time. Aitchison, just an important cog of this Oldham side since his signing from Wigan. Leeds fans trying to raise their side. Bell does a dummy, but there's nobody there anyway to dummy to. Timu. Now, what's Wigan going to do now? That looked a forward pass. In fact, he looked in front of the ball. Now Tate has got to put this dead, which he does. So, good kick there by Crompton, but Tate was covering it. Although he couldn't pick it up and run it out himself, he made sure that Oldham were not going to score on that occasion. Schofield puts. Now, that's not a deep kick at all. And Leeds nearly let go of David Bradbury, who ran onto Wally Gibson's pass there. I think Leeds were looking. Looks like he dropped the ball, but Leeds have picked it up. And they looked all offside by many a mile there. Carl Hall. And Paul Crookon, son of Terry Crook, who used to play with Wakefield. George Mann nearly getting through there. And an older man injured now on the field. There could be a flop there, but the referee lets play go on. And loud boos for the referee. Now George Mann picks that up. The bouncer's kindly for Aitchison. Yeah. And this belly, from a distance, rather reminds you of Jason Robinson, both in his actions and his running, and his movements as well. Now here come Oldham again. They're playing one-man rugby at the moment. They won't mind that. They've got 6-point advantage at the... Now, okay. Crook turns, kick in by Topping, goes into touch. Nearly struck Wally Gibson. I've just been interested in if it had would he have been blown for offside. So Leeds have got to move from their own half of the field, an effort to wipe out this 6-point deficit. Another change. Leeds. Jamie Field has had another good game. And this should be Matt Schultz. Looks like that Gary Lord going off, probably a blood bin again. So it's swapping over quite regularly. Tate. Schultz, first touch of the ball. At least it's a successful one and he holds on to it. Schofield, George Mann. I think if Leeds come from this to tie this game, they'll count tomorrow victory. Now Shaw sees a gap, but it's immediately closed, and there's a high tackle on Shaw. And Leeds want the player dismissed. So Schofield put the ball into touch. Now then, what can Leeds do from this position? 20 metres out. Oldham firm on the first tackle anyway. Long ball, Schofield. Taken up by Cole Hall, inside now. Craig Innes, Schofield! Schofield in for the try. So slick passing by Leeds on that occasion. Showed what can be done. And this is a kick going to be taken by Gary Schofield himself. And Leeds will get behind their favourites if it goes over. A ball in the air. And it's there! Schofield has converted his own try. And what a finale we're in for this final league game in this centenary championship season. 8 minutes to go. And Schofield conversion kick to own try, ties it up. So now Oldham have got to field this kick and run it out. Schofield. And it goes dead off an Oldham player. And David Bradbury can't believe it, but it's just what Leeds wanted. So Leeds, Tate and Schofield shouting instructions to each other in midfield as Oldham drop out towards the halfway line. Lowe's turns, drops the ball, but he's turned back towards the line, and Schofield directing players like a policeman there, wanting traffic to go where he wants. Shaw. Now our Leeds, what the Leeds are going to do? Are they going to play the 6 and get a drop goal? Or are they going to try and go for the 4 points? Schofield again, twice in that move. And an unlucky bounce one way and a lucky bounce the other, and Oldham regain possession. Aitchison turns out to 1, can't get out of McDermott's tackle. Now, striking quick. And Leeds dive on that ball. And then he's knocked on. Oh dear. Now is it the first movement? Is it going to be the first one? He says no. He said that James Lowe's was the first knock on. Schofield tries to remonstrate with the referee, but why is this not to say anything? And that's knocked out of his hand, picked up by Leeds. Schultz is absolutely pounded down there. Crowd want a penalty. They're not going to get it. And neither are Leeds. Paddy Hanley, support. McDermott, he won't shirk anything. Shaw, Schofield now. Carl Hall, and 10 metres out from the Oldham line. Shaw acting halfback. Schofield, bringing in Tate. George Mann. When Tate saw his way blocked, he got rid of George Mann. George Mann now Schofield, but Schofield, a bad pass really to Schofield then. Now Oldham have got a chance to strike. He's pulled down in the tackle. So what's the referee given? Here. I think he's going to scrum, I think. Leeds head and ball, I would have said. Touch judge being called on. Martin Crompton wants to have his sixpenneth, but he's waved away by the referee. As is Paddy Hanley, and rightly so. I don't think either set of players know what the referee's decision is. Referee talking to those sets of players, waiting to either get the player on or off. Maybe the player is more badly injured than what people realise. Well, the stretcher comes on, and this is one of the saddest sights on any sports field in any sport, that a participant is carried off on a stretcher. Let's hope it's not as bad as it's feared. So we've got a bit of injury time now. It says 77 minutes on the electronic scoreboard, but this has been a hold-up. So there must be at least 5 or 6 minutes still to play in this game. But only the timekeepers could tell us, and they are not near us whatsoever. They're on the other side of the ground. Well, they're not on the 20-metre mark, that's for sure. Leeds feed the ball. Innes. Fallon. Puts the ball away. James Lowe's takes it on. Looked to be a bit of a high tackle on James Lowe's then to try and prevent him. Now Mick Shaw trying to weave through. Schultz 10 metres short of the line now. Leeds keep their cool now and not do anything rash. One feels that try. McDermott unloads now. Fallon. Can Fallon use his strength? He can't. The former Bath Rugby Union player. 10 metres from the line. Referee gets in on the act to see what's going on around the ruck area. Nothing on that occasion. Schultz. A signal to go now. Shaw. Schofield's in a position for a drop goal. Schofield not going to take the option. Carl Hall, and should be a high tackle there surely, and Leeds still keep it going. George Mann looking for support. Throws it backwards. Schofield. He's still keeping possession. It's remarkable. Craig Innes. He's got support. He's got Schofield. He's not seen him. But I think that ball went forward. So we go to scrum. And high excitement here at Headingley. And Mick Shaw has been told, or the announcers, the man of the match. So they'll be hoping that Carl Hall having words with the referee. And Leeds were trying to keep Oldham down here at this end of the field, not within either try scoring range or drop goal range. A missed tackle there. And there could have been a penalty there for delaying getting up and playing the ball there. Now then, Atchison is down. And Oldham have got to get the ball up quickly up this end. And it should have been offside there. And he's given out a penalty to Leeds. Now are Leeds going to take a kick at goal? Well, a penalty to Leeds, and we're now in injury time, and I've never seen this on the electronic scoreboard before, where it says now in injury time. So a chance for Schofield, who's trying his own conversion, tied the scores at 26 all, has a chance to put Leeds in front. Well, there'll be a lot of talking points about this game one way and another, no matter who you support, whether it's Leeds or Oldham. So Schofield, a vital kick. If not, he's got to put it dead and hope Leeds get it back. But he's put it in! And the roar of the crowd tells you that Leeds have taken the lead. In injury time. And I think if the hooter went now, the players and the referee wouldn't hear it. Leeds taking their time. Well, here comes Schofield. Puts the ball a long, long way. They've got to run it out now of Oldham and get down the other end. And there goes a hooter! As the Oldham player is bundled into touch. And some Oldham players just cannot believe what has happened to them. Leeds led 20 points to 12 at half time. And then had Harvey Howard sent off in the second half, and Oldham went into a 26-20 lead, only to find that Leeds, through the boot and the guile of Gary Schofield, first a try and then 2 Schofield goals, has given them the points. It means that Leeds will now finish at least second in the championship table this season. And this is their last home league game. The crowd giving them the cheers. Well, what can more say? The final league game here for this season. And the talking points, well, they'll be raging all night, both here and in Oldham. Oldham will feel they've been robbed. Leeds will feel they've got their just desserts. So as the players, and it must be a tired set of players on both sides, go to that well-earned shower, the hot shower. The final score at Headingley, Leeds 28, Oldham 26.